Hey everyone, we are back for another exciting episode this week, and it's our first impression for the DCI 2023 season. We will also find out what made Steven say
They got all the guns blazing right away, especially as a baseline.
and why Thom said
this show is phenomenal. They haul butt the whole show. There's notes galore, non-stop action.
all this and more on this week's episode of On a Water Break.
Let's go. Set it up.
Top of the show.
Form, check form. Cover down.
Do it again.
Run it back.
And we'll see you at the show.
Welcome to another episode of On a Water Break, the podcast where we talk about everything you and your friends are talking about at rehearsal on a water break. I'm Jackie Brown. This week is all about DCI. We're going to talk first impressions. There's so much DCI that we are taking the full episode with our lovely hosts and guest hosts so we can talk about as many cores as we can. So let's see who's on the sidelines this week, starting with Steven.
What up, Jackie?
Hey, and Thom.
Hello from sunny California. You know, it was like drum corps started and the heavens went like, yeah, we're going to give you the best weather ever.
The opposite has been true on the East Coast.
I've heard.
It's been terrible here.
And Whitney, hello.
Hi.
And joining us live for the first time, I think this is the first time, right? Is Jeremy from Drum Corps Today. Hey.
Hello, everyone. I think this is the second time. I did have an opportunity way back when I first started working with y'all. I had the opportunity to do the 30-second life story thing, and it was a blast.
We're just going to say I wasn't there for that one then. We'll just,
All right.
We do have a few guest instructors joining us today, guest clinicians. So, David Landers, welcome.
Hi.
And also Dave Duffy.
Howdy. How's it going?
So we do a really interesting thing with our new guest clinicians. So we have to make sure you guys are inducted properly into the On a Water Break instructional cast.
Yeah, I think you're correct, Jackie. Each week when we have a new guest on our show, we do something called Your Life Story in 32 Counts. That gives you about 30 seconds to catch all of our listeners up to speed. Tell us who you are. Why don't we get started with David Duffy? David, are you ready to go first?
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. Here we go.
You're going to get 8 from the Met.
5, 6, 7, 8. Hey, I'm Dave Duffy, and I'm originally from Virginia, and I went to school at James Madison University, and I graduated in 1989. I taught in Virginia at Powhatan and Nelson, and then Bassett. Everybody might know Bassett. And then I moved to West Johnston in North Carolina, and then I moved to Texas, and I've been in Texas for the past 12 years at Hendrickson, Dripping Springs, and then most recently at Moe and Gene Johnson High School. And I'm a Cavalier. I march Cavaliers and a euphonium player, but I'm also kind of good at color guard. So yeah, I guess that's me in a nutshell. And I taught Whitney.
Oh wow!
Woo!
David, I gotta ask, Powhatan High School. Do you know Jay Noah?
I don't know. I don't know. That would have been like I started that program.
Okay.
And yeah, not real. I started like what would now be known as, like I did the first indoor drum line there.
Right.
And then that kind of took off after me.
It really did. I marched with a couple students from Powhatan, but it might have been after your time.
Oh, it would have been way after my time. I mean, that was literally, I have 34 years of teaching. So,
wow.
Yeah. But my heart is like my beginnings of my life is Powhatan. What a great area. What a great community.
And a really great drum line. It's a great high school program.
Steven, we're not talking indoor. We want to know what year's Cavaliers you marched. We're talking drum corps today.
Okay, I marched 87, 88.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm an old guy.
Very cool shows.
Yep.
That is super cool, David. We're going to continue learning more about you, but first, let's also learn about David Landers. Are you ready to give it a go with the 32 counts?
I am ready.
All right.
All right, I was raised in Nashville, Tennessee. I graduated from John Overton High School in 1987. We were the state marching band champion all 4 years that I was there. I marched Spirit of Atlanta in 1986 and 88, so I shared the field with David Duffy a few times in 88. And then I graduated from Middle Tennessee State University, taught in Tennessee for a couple years, and then I was a professional trombone player for a few years in my late 20s. Worked with Princess Cruises, did some traveling around. Lived in Alaska, Texas, Florida, landed in California in 2000, and I've been here ever since. I ran a little bit overtime, didn't I?
Just a little.
I am a high school band director, and I've been here for 21 years. Yeah, so.
No, that's very cool. I didn't realize you guys marched together.
We marched the same years, but not together.
Yeah, we shared the field. I was Spirit of Atlanta.
I see.
And then I met Thom via San Francisco Renegades. I left that part out of my. Didn't have time for that one, but we participated with the San Francisco Renegades back a decade and a half ago or so.
Oh, and this is Duffy. Yeah, sorry, I left one part out. So I did design for drum corps from 91 to basically 96 with the Magic of Orlando, and then I went back in 99 for the really kind of like really strange year of Magic. But yeah, so go Magic.
Well, let's dive right into our gush and goes for the week since we have so much content to cover. This is the time in our show where our hosts and guests get to gush and go on about anything they want having to do with the marching arts. So, Steven, why don't you start us off and show them how it's done?
Yeah, last week I got to have my first marching band rehearsal of the year for the school that I'll be teaching this summer. We set the drum line. We started playing some exercises. I had to do it all myself because my co-teacher, he's actually on tour right now with Music City. But I'm real excited to get into things with them. I think that there is a lot of potential with this show this year. And I'm not just saying that because Jeremy wrote the show and he's sitting on the call on mute. But but I think it's going to be a really fun year. I'm really excited. The first night was really good. And it's that time of year where things finally get going.
For sure.
Whitney.
Hi. I'm just going to gush and go about how my summer break is almost over. And I'm kind of upset about it. But I start band camp on Monday. So I'm just trying to enjoy my last couple of days off before that all begins. Watched the drum corps show last night, but I know we're going to talk about that later. So I'm excited to chat about that.
I'm sure there will be a lot of gushing over that.
Nah.
Thom, why don't you go next?
Oh, me? My turn? Oh, well, we are going to talk a lot of drum corps today, but I've got to actually gush about Flow Marching and their camera quality this year. Ooh. Last year, they would flip around from high shots and low shots like it was nobody's business. You would get nauseous watching a show. This year, they seem to have it dialed in to where it's actually watchable now and you're not like on a roller coaster ride. So that's my gush and go this year.
Good job, Flow Marching.
There was some strange, jump scares almost during some of the shows last night. And I was like,
there are still some. You're right, Whitney. But that was like times 10 last year, though. So
yeah. I'm very happy we have Flow Marching.
Right, yeah, absolutely.
Jeremy, why don't you take it away?
It's really exciting now that drum corps season's actually started, but what's really cool that I'm seeing about this season is no matter what corps you look at, there's going to be something you like. Whether it's a part of the show, whether it's the uniform design, there's going to be some aspect about every single corps. I know a handful of corps haven't performed yet, but there's going to be something about every corps that everyone finds enjoyment out of. And I just think that's really cool to start the season out with that energy.
I think you're definitely correct. I've been watching a lot of different groups, and I feel like it's just a really good year. Like there's so many different like exciting things going on everywhere.
Landers, what do you want to gush and go on about now that you kind of like see the way we run things?
Sure. Well, yesterday I had I officially started my season with my senior and section leader breakfast, and we went to the band room after that and did a little work in the band room. And then Monday we start with rookie camp, and then it just keeps going from there. Tomorrow I'm excited to drive out to Fresno. Well, I'm not excited for the drive because it's a really boring drive, but I'll be doing the drive with Tom, so that'll be fun. But yeah, heading out to Fresno to see the Fresno show, and I got a couple of kids in the in Blue Devils B this year, so looking forward to supporting them as well.
All right, Duffy.
Let's see. Gush and go about my vacation. I went to Vegas, and then I went home to see my mom. And along the way, I got to stop at Jeff Herr's house, and he's the guy that like designs a lot of the props and stuff like that. He was a band parent of mine when I was at West Johnston, and so I got a lot of the inside scoop about the props and things that that everybody changed and all those things. But like to piggyback with Whitney, yeah, band camp is getting ready to start here in Texas. And hey, if any of you like marching people are listening to this, Texas is hot as poop right now. And so all of y'all heading towards San Antonio, it's not going to be nice down here. It's not. It's hot. It's really bad down here.
Across like the whole South, right? The whole South is just
yeah. So
I am going to change the tone a little bit. I need to gush about before we get into DCI, because the rest of this episode is going to be entirely DCI. And for the 4th, we put together an alumni guard over at Spintronics. And we've been doing this for like, I don't know, we've been doing it off and on since 2010. And I actually like spun with them. I haven't spun with them for a while because I had a baby. And so the last couple of years I've been kind of out of commission. And yeah, I was exhausted by the end of that parade, and I was like, I don't remember how I ever was able to spin through a whole parade in my life. But I made it through, and I just got to gush about all of the alumni people who came out to be in the parade. Some of them have spun with us before. There are actually Spintronics alumni. Some are just literally alumni from their own school color guard, and they've never done Spintronics, but they've aged out now, so they're like, you know, just coming and spinning with us, and it's just super fun. So we had a nice little team and had a good time. So I wanted to gush about them. Good job, guys. So this is how our discussion is going to work. I am going to randomly read out a show description from one of the DCI shows this year. The first person to shout out the answer of which drum corps that show belongs to is going to start the conversation on that group. Okay, so I'm just going to start with the description. If we don't get it from that, I'm going to read some show titles, maybe some music, and then also not all the corps have full descriptions about their shows published yet. So I will give you as much information without actually identifying the corps as possible. So we'll see how that goes.
Hey guys, just so you know, that's my cat in the background. So
yeah,
like,
figured.
and he hates it when I'm on the phone or anything like that. He goes crazy. So
Yeah,
Whitney just texted me because Whitney has come down here and looked out for him, and it's like he's like, Brutus, laugh out loud. I was like this. Oh my gosh, Brutus. Sorry.
It's
Drum
all
corps.
good.
Back to drum corps.
All right, so let's get this started. This one, I'm gonna start in the middle because I think they're listed in alphabetical order, and I don't want to give any of that away.
But you're gonna tell us
here's
you're
a
starting in the
very
middle.
nice. Well, I'm starting at a random point that is not the beginning nor the end. Let's put it that way. All right, so this drum corps presents their 2023 production titled "The Sound Garden," influenced by the Seattle-based rock and Soundgarden. Yes, I'll finish reading the description. Influenced by the Seattle-based rock band Soundgarden, who are themselves Named for an aural-based art installation, the show's intent is to combine an energetic combination of musical styles, sounds, and visual textures to create and cultivate a blooming garden of sound. Who was my first person? I heard you guys say
I think
it.
Duff
But...
got it. He got me by a hair.
Okay. Start it
I
off.
did?
Go for
Yeah.
it. Yes.
I'm super excited for this group because my dearest friend, Sue Smith, Robert Smith's wife, is part of like the education team, and she is amazing. Like she's just an amazing woman. Like she should be one of those people that, you know, like DCI is all about, like talking about women. They need to talk about Sue Smith because she's an amazing educator. She really is. She's a great person, first of all. And yeah, so I'm super excited to see Madison, you know, also Tykeem Rainey, who's a big tech, like down here with us in Texas. I know he's doing a lot with the color guard. So I'm super excited to see them.
It sounds like really cool source music. You said it's Soundgarden source music, like from the band, or?
Well, it says
I'm pretty sure
some of
Oh
it
yeah,
most.
they're
is,
doing
yeah.
Black Hole Sun. Yeah, they're doing some music from the actual group Soundgarden.
Cool.
We did Black Hole
Yeah,
Sun in
so
our
they've got
marching
Rusty
band show with
Cage,
Dave.
Black Hole Sun, yep. And then some of the other pieces in the repertoire is La Mer, Hold Music, and then 23 degrees north, 82 degrees west.
It's a good show.
Have they performed on Flow yet? I haven't seen them.
Yeah.
I'm excited about this one. I love Soundgarden.
No, I enjoyed the show. It's really good.
I'm excited too about this range of cores because I feel like they all work like extremely hard because it's like cutthroat right around their spot usually lately, trying to make it into finals. So
Well,
like
you know,
all of these groups right around here work so hard.
Madison they're a one-time world champion. You know, they know
Mm-hmm.
how to
Two
get back
times.
there. Two times.
Two
Thank
times.
you, Landers.
A previous
Yeah.
times world champion.
Get the fact checkers out.
Those of us that were there on the field in '88, that's my age out. So anyway, Madison won that year. But yeah, I feel like in that range of cores, like that's where the big shifting can come
It
because
is.
like the top 4 and the 5 and like to get from 6 to 5 is like such a climb. But I feel like, you know, you could have been, you know, 19th last year and wham, you're in 11th this year. It's like I think it's in that shifty area. It's always like super cool to see them, like see what could happen.
And that's all a matter of points too. It's not like there's a huge gap. Yeah.
Not a huge gap, and just because you made finals last year does not mean that you will make finals this year, especially if you're in that range. There's just,
with an
I feel
open
like,
spot.
yep, and there's so many good groups. Like everyone's show seems good. I'm
Yeah, it
excited
used
to
to
see
be.
all of them.
Yeah, this is Landers. It used to be that if you were, yeah, anywhere from, yeah, was it 10th and below, then that was kind of the. But now it, like Duffy was saying, yeah, 6th and below is a giant toss up. Well, it used to be what, between 10 to 14 was that sort of tight gap, but now it's you know, on a year to year basis. If you were generally top 10, you pretty much stayed top 10 for a long time. So it's exciting, and it does generate a lot of interest in the shows and a lot of variety and trying out new things. And I am anxious to hear how they, because to me the sound guard and the description that you put out there, Jackie, that sort of, you know, experimentation with sound to me kind of defines what drum corps has been really going after for the last 10 years or so. It feels like just, you know, particularly since the electronics and amplification of not just pit instruments, the variety of sounds that are on the field at any given show are it's amazingly diverse, and to see what Madison is going to do with that concept and push it even farther is going to be exciting to see and hear.
Yeah, for sure. Jackie, what's the next one?
All right, let's go to the next one. This show offers a turbulent ocean adventure filled with gritty characters while exploring the realms of philosophy, science, history, and politics with intrigue and insight. the story of Captain Ahab's self-destructive obsession with
Boston?
the white whale called Moby Dick. Yes, it is Boston Crusaders. The plot of the novel follows Ahab's manic drive to kill the whale, even as it endangers his crew. Boston Crusaders 2023 show makes a geographical connection to the Corps' home in Massachusetts, while also drawing parallels to the white whale metaphor, chasing the seemingly unattainable at all costs.
I'm going to be a spoiler.
So, yes, Boston.
I'm going to be a spoiler.
Oh.
They do not kill BK Shark at the end. That does not happen.
Hey, I'll jump in on this one. I love this show. They do like it's like some fun little sea shanties, I feel like, for the first half of the show roughly. But then once they get to the second half, it gets really intense really fast. And it's like it's a lot of fun to watch. It gave me goosebumps. I promise you at already the second half of this show is crazy and you're going to love it if you haven't seen it yet. But the whole thing, I feel like it's Boston in its best form.
Stephen, I have to ask, since you mentioned the sea shanties thing, since you and Jeremy are younger, there's recently like a sea shanty isn't there some sort of social media meme or something that's related to a sea shanty? And is that song included?
It's all over.
It is.
It is included. Okay.
Yeah. What is it? The Wellerman? Something? What is that?
Wellerman.
Yeah. Like
Okay.
they feature the tubas doing it, and it's like it's awesome. Like
it is a great moment.
I
actually really love it.
It truly is like such a great moment. Yeah.
What Boston showed to me this year is really just, to me, it's a meat and potatoes drum corps show.
Well, that's one of the groups that I chatted with Chris Lewis and Jeff Herr about, like the props, because they did all the props and stuff like that. I can't like spoiler alert, but I do know that something's coming, because I know that if we're going to talk about it, like the one part that I do miss, their show is called White Whale, and right now it seems like it's a very beautiful solo dancer that is not the size of a whale. I mean, she's beautiful, and so not that whales aren't beautiful big, but I'm saying, like, so I think there's something coming. Spoiler alert. I don't know. I don't work for Boston. I don't know anything about it, but yeah. But I definitely feel like, yeah, they're super fun. And like, sorry, Whitney, I'm just going to like step on it right now. But like, can we talk about the color guard? Is just ridiculous.
Yeah,
like,
it's crazy.
They're ridiculous.
Crazy. But they're like, I feel like they're way cleaner right now than they were last year, maybe even towards the end of the season, like color guard wise. Yeah, it is crazy. There were definitely some like moments that made me giggle last night.
Yeah, like,
let's not forget these corps have had 4 to 5 weeks to work on these shows with no interruption. That's awesome this year.
Yeah, I mean, not only are their flag rotations ridiculous, but last night there were like some weapon stuff that I was like, what?
Yeah.
Wow, it is July, whatever, beginning of July. Wow. When they're throwing like a 70,000 and they're turning around 92 times and then catching it backhanded and going snatch a loop, and you're like, wow. So, yeah.
I really hope they cover the props with something. Like I don't know, I just want the like fabric on the props, because it doesn't look very boat-like to me right now. Like I want it to be more theatrical and ship-like, but I don't know. I feel like everybody's props just look like silver, because probably Jeff Herr has done them.
They added like some wood pier pylons around the pit. I don't know if you noticed that just the other night. So maybe there is more to come.
Yeah, the wooden pylon things in the front are great. Those wooden pylon things are awesome in the front. That looks so cool.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and jump to the next one, because now this one doesn't actually have a printed statement, but I have some interesting quotes from certain staff members here. How do you capture something bigger than yourself? That's the genesis of all of this.
The Garden of Love.
A lot of it.
Bluecoats.
Not quite. A lot of it stems off of last year's success, being in the impossible dreams. It flows right and picks up from where we left off last year.
Troopers?
The production is equal parts exciting story. Yes, it's the Troopers, set to depict characters reaching high into the sky to achieve a distant goal. It is called To Lasso the Sun. Thom, you are on it.
It's the Troopers. Man, they have picked up where they left off, talent-wise and design-wise. The sun is really cool they have on the field. I get lost just staring at that thing. But their percussion program is on fire right now.
I want to know who designed the sun, because it reminds me so much of the torch from the 2016 Olympics. It's a non-mobile version, I guess, of that torch. It's so cool.
It's a garden spinner to keep away, crows and stuff out of your garden. But they put it on like 100 times scale.
Yeah, it's like on steroids.
Yeah, it's cool. I bet it's real cool live. Flow doesn't do it justice, but
I haven't gotten to see this show yet, actually. This is one of the few that I haven't gotten to see. But I just imagine that, like, the energy coming off of their performance last year, like, they don't want to stop. They just want to keep going. Like, they just want to be better and build off the momentum. Thom, I guess you got to see it. Who else got to see this show already?
I saw it. It's fun to watch, because last year I felt like they amped up so much, during the season. It's exciting to know that they're already starting like this, and to see where that might end up, the hype of it all, because they really did last year ramp up a lot during the season, and so it's exciting to see these people doing the same thing. Yeah, it's exciting. I definitely, the first time I watched it, was like, wow, this is cool. Yeah.
Well, that energy right there is so cool because they're just building on their momentum. They're not gonna let go of making finals last year, but you got groups like Blue Knights that are itching to get back and are already working really hard, and their shows also look fantastic already. So you end up with this everyone's breeding. It's like steel sharpening steel or whatever.
10 through 15, nobody's safe right now.
Nobody's safe. I have no clue who's going to make it, but I bet that I'm going to love all of the shows because it's going to be cutthroat down there.
Well, let's check out this next one, because I wonder if this one's going to be one of your safe ones. A musical and visual collage that celebrates environmental installation with shape, sound, and texture. This particular show mines the tension that lurk in all the shapes between finish and process, fine art and decoration, drawing and color. An eclectic soundtrack bridges the past to the present and reflects the circumstance to the vision.
It sounds like it might be a Blue Knights show, but not Blue Knights. No, just
Genesis.
Is it the Blue Devils?
No, it's the Blue Devils. Yes,
I thought it might be.
So close.
It's called The Cutouts.
Yeah, I like this show a lot. I only saw
show.
a video of this from spring training, and it wasn't really complete then. They still had show to put on, but it was so visually and musically colorful. And I'm a bass drummer. I'll give the shout out here where I think it's due. Blue Knights bass line, or Blue Devils bass line. I'm sure the Blue Knights are great as well, but Blue Devils is really, really just they got all the guns blazing right away, especially as a bass line. They come out and they just rip a bass feature to shreds, before we even have our first full ensemble hit. And I love the different musical selections that they use. Who else has gotten to see this show already?
It's a good show. I've seen it. To quiet down all these old timers that complain about this isn't drum corps, this year I think more groups are doing more drill. You're seeing more uniform style looking things instead of costumish. More headwear again. come on, stop with the complaining. Let's just get on board and enjoy it. It's drum corps is awesome. Stop it.
I like it. I like this Blue Devils show kind of for the same reason you're getting at. They're just doing like a regular, I almost say regular old BD show, like that's bad. But like they're playing jazz music. They're doing like just something that's fun to listen to and fun to watch. It's like it's not deep. It's just pretty good. And I
Yeah.
like it. And I'm usually a BD hater.
I feel like I feel like I feel like we're seeing more color than we normally see from them. Like
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? Like I get it. I don't know if it's definitely based on Matisse or whatever his cutout, whatever, but I think there's some really cool things about it. And like I just again the horn line. I don't know a lot about percussion from the standpoint of like I do know that bass thing is like super crazy. Horn line's great, but again, I have to give a shout out to the color guard because I was amazed at wow. I mean, they just seem to be like really doing a lot more than they ever have. You know what I'm saying? So it looks like that Mr. Chandler and friends were like, yeah, I think we want the Zingali back. So we're not gonna, it definitely looks like they've amped up, and of course, then they always get the thing about like, oh, they're such great performers, but every time on Flow Marching or every little clip I've seen of them, they look like they're having the best time. Like it's
absolutely Duffy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like wow. Like I mean, you can't pose those pictures. You just can't.
No, pure joy.
And they're always one that again because I used to be a Blue Devil hater too until like basically like a bunch of years ago when I moved out here to Texas and I've kind of fallen in love with them. But they're the ones like I'm so excited to see at San Antonio because like when you see it live, it's just like it amazes you because their performers are just so amazing. So I'm
Now,
excited.
quick question on that. So, uh, how much of that do you think is natural in their and just their enjoyment of the show, and how much of that do you think might be because of flow marching and because of the modern age where we have so many shows that are being broadcast and everybody gets close-ups, and so the camera is just so much more in their face, and so there's that performance, when I marched in the 80s, the performance for the horn lines was, we didn't really think about the face and all of that. But how much do you think of it is a maybe a coach thing or just a reminding them that, hey, you are like really, people can really, 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 really
Dave,
see you.
there's probably some of that in there, but WGI, the cameras are right at ground level when you're performing, so that's been going on for a long time.
Sure.
But I'm sure
Okay.
there's a little bit of reminder that we're
And I'm not talking about color guard. Color guard has always been,
yeah.
I'm talking about,
Obviously, hey, we're on flow. Let's, so it helps in both ways. I think it's helping your general effect.
and I'm definitely not knocking it. I love it.
It's helping
I
yourself
love it.
enjoy
Yeah.
it more, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, I think as someone who is marching pretty recently, it's like very explicitly talked about. Especially in indoor, you'll be like explicitly told like you need to communicate with your face straight to the audience.
Hmm.
But we all saw like all the people that were marching in my age group watched in like 2016. There was this trumpet player in Bluecoats who like
Yeah.
winked.
The wink.
The
The
wink
wink.
around the world.
And I
The
feel
wink.
like that
Yeah.
was the moment where everyone realized like you might see me, not
Yeah.
like the Bluecoats horn line. You might see Steven
Right.
Right.
on the Flow Marching finals video. And like I should be interesting enough. Or I want to be interesting enough even. Um so I think like for people still marching today, where they're constantly like aware of the fact that you might see me at a more intimate level than you
Stephen,
saw
the
back in the
coolest
80s.
factor of that is like a million because when the most of us marched, we only prayed that we got a small picture in Drum Corps World, the newspaper, but it was always grainy and a little blurry. And you're like, that is me. I know it is.
It's you with the full uniform and the hat brim pulled down 2 fingers from your
Right
nose.
now, you maybe style your hair a little bit more, and Maybe a little blush.
And you look forward to that moment when the hat comes off midway through the show, like it does almost everywhere. Um, but hey, we're going to pitch it over. We got a quick commercial break from the folks over at Guard Closet, and then we will be back talking more shows. We'll talk to you in a few.
Hey, this is Christine Ream.
And Chris Green.
Guard Closet was founded as a consignment business in 2000. Since then, it has grown to include winter guard, band, percussion, and other genres.
We can help you with custom flag and costuming designs.
Our consignment inventory has plenty of great looks for your color guard, drumline, and marching band.
Pay it forward. When you purchase consignment, you help other programs. Last year, we sold over 400 sets of consignments and returned over $125,000 in payments to our consigners for their sales.
Additionally, Guard Closet offers custom and pre-designed costumes, flags, floors, and formal wear, full or partial show writing, educational programming, and other services.
Max out your rehearsal time and set up a microsite for easy student ordering for shoes, gloves, and other equipment.
The Guard Closet team is here to help you get everything you want and need for your season. Check us out at guardcloset.com and follow us on social media.
I hope everybody's got their popcorn and refilled those drinks, because Jeremy is going to read our next description.
All right, so we're looking at the flow marching show announcements. Not a whole ton for this one. We've got a quote: "Strength does not come from physical capacity. It comes from an indomitable will."
Yeah, this is definitely the Cadets.
Yep, that's
Thom
it.
had it first.
Oh, holy name. This show, if you haven't seen
why don't
this
we
show,
finish off the description?
Yeah, keep reading.
Keep reading.
Keep reading.
Keep reading.
That was the
That's
entire
all you
description,
need.
actually.
This show is phenomenal. This is the Cadets to me. They haul butt the whole show. There's notes galore, nonstop action.
Yeah.
This drumline is ripping too. They start with a drum feature.
Yes.
I'm hyping on the
exactly
Cadets this year. That's all I can say. Lee Bettis beats. They're baller this year.
Thom, we have an opening snare break to this show. Tell me what you think about this snare line.
It's cool. It's clean. It's great. It's explosive. Like, it's not just, it's not vanilla. There's nothing vanilla about it. It's a do or die moment, and they nail it every time. It's cool.
Yeah, it's crazy when you see like a moment that's that intricate. Like, for listeners that haven't seen it, you start out with like a solo snare basically to like start the show, and then they build on. They just like build up to the whole snare line, but all of it is like kind of a ram. Like, it's really hard, but it's also really clean already.
And you get distracted by the craziness going on behind it. The show's about what? Athleticism, strength. And the core is moving.
Yeah.
They are running like crazy while all this drumming is going on. Good show.
Yeah, it's about that dude Atlas that had the weight of the world on his shoulders, which I'm sure is relatable to the members of that snare line that carry practically the weight of the world on their shoulders every single night when they start the show.
I feel like the Cadets are back with this show. I mean, I love last year's show, but this is like, wow, this is like Cadets of like the late 90s, early 2000s to me. This is...
Those were good years.
I agree, man. Like, I think it's a cool one. And I think like it's been a road with the Cadets lately, just comparing. Like, I've been wanting to love them as an East Coast guy, but like this is the first time in a while where I've been like, all right, I actually really like right away the whole show. It's not like I just like the snare line or I just like the drums. Like, it's actually good. It's a good Cadets show.
Yeah,
so I'm excited to see it.
It's felt like the past few years the Cadets have been really trying to rebuild and refocus on what kind of project they want to put out, what kind of product they want to put out. And this year they've just they've found their theme, they've found their concept. At first, I
Mhm.
wasn't sure about the uniforms, but just the way they've taken the athleticism concept and gone all out with every aspect,
And you know
including the
what? You look at
uniforms. It just
that
works
costume
great.
from a distance. It's clean. It's cream and burgundy. It
It
doesn't look
does.
like
It is,
shorts
yeah.
and yoga pants and a t-shirt from a distance. It looks nice and clean, very athletic looking. It fits the show perfectly, I think.
And Tom, you're so right because, like, honestly, that's what some of the online discourse has been. People have been not sold on the outfits, the costumes based on the pictures that were put out. But when you're watching it from the stands, it looks like the cadets. It still
It
looks like
does.
the
It does.
cadets. So if you're up that close, maybe you might see it's a little different. It's more athletic-y geared, but that's because they're doing crazy stuff out there on the field, and they need it, and more power to them. I would have loved to have been wearing like extremely comfortable outfits like it seems like they're wearing.
Yeah.
Oh, the
It
new
I'm
looks
ex-
good.
costumes are so
I'm
much
ex- I'm
more
ex-
comfortable to wear than than the wool and marching band uniform days of old.
Uh-huh.
For sure.
I can remember wearing some cadets throwdown uniforms when I was marching in C2, and it was the full
Yep.
100% wool. We kept it
That's
100
what we
at
Yeah.
wore in
C2.
Boston back in the 90s. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see it. I haven't seen it yet, so it's cool to hear you guys hype on it because I did see a picture of the uniforms and was like,
And
really? Wow. But it's
Mhm.
cool to hear the athleticism part of it and to know that that's part of it because yeah, I mean, because I do think that nowadays it's like, why not? Like again, people like I've heard people hate on it, and I was like, but there were other cores last year that I thought were just like, really, that's what you're gonna wear, and
Yeah.
so it's like, but we didn't hate on them, but like the cadets or whatever, because I'm being an East Coast guy, but I'm excited to hear the athletic part of it and to know that because it makes sense with the picture that I saw. But I can't lie, when I first saw the picture, I
I
was like,
think we all
really?
were,
I think we all
I even
felt
saw
that
it, was
way.
like, come
Okay,
on, what is that now? A pair of shorts and yoga pants? But this isn't
right,
I
Sunday
because
s
morning coffee and brunch at the.
I saw it and I thought that some dude from the horn line was about to step out for his, like, UFC debut or something. Like,
I mean, anybody that knows me knows that I can talk and roast with the best of them, and so but I try not to do that, especially like when it comes to the kids performing. So I was like, really, designers, that's what you came up with? But again, like hearing the show description and knowing
When you
that's what
put it
it is,
all
I
into
think, why not?
context, it's like brilliant, well done.
yeah. Yep. Tom's
And
exactly right. Everything works well
for you
together in
color guard
context.
fans, I did hear April Gilligan was back with the cadets.
Ooh.
Really? Wow.
And
And
Lee Bettis, and
John
Travis
Sparks,
Peterman.
right?
But
Yeah.
so before we get off the cadets, I do want to say, 1984 Garfield Cadets was the first drum corps I saw live.
Ooh.
Preach.
Mm.
That's a good one.
West Side
That's a good
Story.
one.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a good
amazing.
year. Good
Can I
good
just
year.
quick go around the room and find out everybody's first drum corps they saw live, if you remember?
Yeah, I got my answer for
Suncoast
you.
Sound,
Go.
1983.
Okay.
Suncoast Sound
Yeah,
83, is that what you said? Wow, that's great.
First.
Mine was 1980 Spirit of Atlanta.
Mm.
Yep, that's a damn good one.
My first time that I saw drum corps live, I was actually performing in it in
Wow.
2016 at C2.
Wow.
Only because my family always took a vacation the first week of August, so I was never around on the
And
East
Jeremy,
Coast when drum corps
I don't
would
know
come
that
around
everyone knows what
until I was in it.
C2 is. That's Cadets 2 Senior Corps at the
Oh,
time, right?
yes. Yeah, it doesn't exist anymore. It was the Cadets 2 Senior Corps in DCA. It was like a feeder corps, but also a senior corps. It was like lightning in a
Won a
bottle.
world
It was cool.
championship, didn't you? Yeah.
Indeed, we did. Yes, yep. That was my highest peak of my drum corps career. Never won again, but it was good to win as a rookie.
Good.
Yeah.
Jeremy, what was the first one you saw?
Yeah, so my first show was back just 2014. I got to see Carolina Crown live, and I know
Yeah.
it's not a lot of people's favorite shows, but I don't know. I really love it, especially
With that
that
horn line.
last
What show was that?
Yeah, the horn line.
Jesus.
Ground control to
Oh, the
Major
Space
2014, he
Tom.
said.
Yeah,
Oh, it's the Space
2014.
Odyssey show,
Yeah.
yeah.
Whitney, what was
Yeah.
your first drum corps show?
I don't remember exactly what my first drum corps was, but we used to go to the Sevierville, Tennessee show when I was growing up. Our whole band would go. So I think the first year I saw was 1998. And I remember seeing Madison and Cavaliers, but beyond that, I don't really know.
All right.
Mine was 2005.
There we go.
Did we miss somebody else?
No. I was going to say we didn't get Jackie, but here you are.
Oh, yeah. No, mine was 2005. I'd seen lots and lots of drum corps on VHS. I started watching drum corps on VHS from like shows from the 80s. But live and in person, I saw 2005 Phantom Regiment when they did An American in Paris, and it was incredible.
Awesome.
I'm going to go ahead and give you guys the clue for the next one. So we can go on. This year's program embodies the heartfelt concept that, regardless of one's location or companions, the deepest affection and emotional pull always stem from family and home. It signifies that home is not merely a physical structure, but a place where relationships, warmth, and memories converge. A sanctuary where one finds a sense of belonging and fulfillment alongside the people they hold dear. I feel like that's just true for everyone, and what a touching description of that show.
Has anybody seen the show?
I've seen it like twice.
Yeah, I like it. It's got some room to grow, but the drum line seems to be picking up where they left off last year. I love the guard costumes. I think they're gorgeous.
Yeah, I think the guard's great. I enjoyed them so much last year, and then the first time I saw them this year, I was like, wow, there you go. I think, I think the color guard's great. The show itself is definitely one of those ones that it's entertaining. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people complain that maybe the top groups aren't, but I like all of it. But I really like the Colts. I think they're great.
I enjoy the show. I've watched it a couple of times, and I'm excited to see how much better they get over the next month.
Yeah, they're one of those groups that are going to be duking it out for that spot. Not guaranteed.
All right. Well, this next corps, they don't have a full-length description. However, the name of their show is Sinnerman, and their repertoire includes
Mandarin.
Mandarins. I haven't gotten to see this one yet, but just reading this repertoire, I kind of want to read this because there's some amazing ones on here. Sinnerman by Nina Simone, Take Me to Church by Hosier, Smile by Nat King Cole, the Swing Symphony Fourth Movement, Presage, I don't know what that one is, Universe Zero, and then I'm Tired by Labyrinth and Zendaya. Like, what? This is an amazing repertoire.
It's a good show, Jackie. Trevor, one of our hosts here, works with the horn line, and their horn line sounds fabulous this year. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like we've kind of been saying about everybody. Like, I think it's like another notch up from last year. So like when I first saw it, I was like, I was jazzed about the repertoire as well. And then I saw it, I was like, wow, okay, this is cool. It's cool. Like, Mandarin just seemed like they have their own little niche now, and it's cool to see them like really develop that voice that's their
identity.
And it's like, yeah, and so it's, being the old fogey in the room right now, I feel like, I really like that. I like that when the corps all have their own little identity. I think Mandarin really does.
They've had a
that.
tough run, I tell you, being here in California with a lot of the corps that have been here and still here. They were always, that, go to the Mandarins first and then come back and see us.
Yeah.
And now it's there are not many points behind the big dog here in California anymore. So that's cool.
It's been really great to see them grow over the past few years. I mean, a lot of times when a corps breaks into finals, they're in for a year or two and then dip back out. But Mandarin, since 2018, they've been in and they haven't looked back since.
Yeah, they've gotten stronger each year. That's great.
Yeah, they rehearsed at my high school at here in Texas the COVID year, and we were like the second place that they stopped, and they were here during band camp, and so they were starved but it was really cool to be around that staff and to watch them all like, yeah, let's do that, yeah, it was just really cool watching them like create themselves. It was cool. Like I'm excited about them a lot, actually.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and read you. I'm not even going to say the show title this time because y'all were way too fast with that one. I'm going to read the repertoire first because there's no program description for this one. And I just want y'all to know I've been doing my research. I'm looking on all their social medias and everything, and they have not put one out. So the repertoire for this show is The Second Law, Isolated System by Muse, Supremacy by Muse, As If a Voice Were in Them by Oliver Waseby. I'm not sure how to pronounce that last name. To Walk or Run in West Harlem by Andy Akiho. Piano Concerto No. 2 by Sergei Rachmaninoff. And for I Have Fought the Good Fight by Stephen Melillo. Any ideas on which drum corps this could be?
Is it Phantom?
It is Phantom.
Wow.
Exogenesis. That was good, Steven. First guess, too.
Nice. All right.
Phantom is hot this year, man. They sound like old school Phantom this year.
I think
bold.
Just a little bit ago, someone mentioned something about like groups in the top 5 not like being entertaining enough, maybe, or not like pushing a certain boundary that some groups maybe from 6 to 10 do. And I think that this show really, really does that. They've got like these 5 different boxes that they like keep revealing different things from throughout the show that you don't really know what's coming. It's like what's in the box is a bit of a surprise, but it's like super modern, and it's really interesting how they like compose all the different parts together. It's not stock. It's like something new musically for you to listen to. And honestly, it's just a fun show. Like, you're going to enjoy watching Phantom this summer. I can't explain the show. I don't really get it, honestly, but I don't care. It's fun and you're going to like it.
Totally, Steven. It's got a lot of energy and you can dig on all of it. I don't really get it yet either. But I do enjoy it visually and musically.
Anybody?
Yeah, exactly.
So basically, if anybody from the Phantom Regiment social media team is listening to this, please, we need a little bit more description of what this show is about. Please and thank you.
Drop us a comment.
It's a good show. I want to know what you're doing.
Yeah, I feel like they're in a position to maybe move up a little bit this year, get back to where they belong in that top 6, maybe. Who knows?
I could see that. But Blue Stars will give them a run for their money up there too.
We're not talking about that show yet. We're not talking about that show yet.
There.
Okay, let me go next then, since you guys are excited about it.
Yet.
All right, this summer we're going to take the music of Giuseppe Verdi, The Doors, Lenny Kravitz, and Pharrell Williams on a journey through overcoming restraint and personal struggle to become unharnessed from that which holds us
Blue
back.
Knights.
Yes. The show name was in that, Unharnessed.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Blue Knights. I mean, they made some brave choices last year, but I think they are definitely on path to probably getting back in the top 12.
I don't think they would just take not making top 12 lightly. I mean, they're a perennial finalist. They know how to make it. They know what it takes, and they're going to be itching and clawing to get right back. I know that they're doing something really interesting with their bass drums that I want to see a little bit more about. But they essentially have something like a tube that they can blow into that adjusts the pitch of the bass drum.
The pitch of the drum, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they do. they do.
It's
It
got
sounds
like
like you might know more than me, Thom.
a pressure odometer on top, and it allows you to put pressure or extract that pressure so that you can change the pitch of the drum up and down. Yeah, so
Right,
maybe
okay.
part of the
Like you're
show.
putting your elbow into the drum head, right?
Right. So part of the
Kinda,
show they
yeah.
might be pitched really high, or later in the show super low, or maybe just all over the place. Who knows? I haven't seen anything yet. Just a lot of
Interesting.
chit chat.
Yes. It's like we're aware that they're about to do this, but they've still kept it under lock and key, and we don't know what it sounds like
Dave and
yet.
I, Landers and I, are going to get to see it tomorrow night firsthand. So we'll get
Yeah.
some
Oh, man.
footage.
Text in the group chat. The listeners won't get to hear, but I want to know. I think it's cool. I've actually been wondering a lot about it lately as a bass drummer. Like, does this mean now you'll have someone in the box and they'll be like, basses, watch out, that unison. You guys were sharp on the unison.
Well, I'm also wondering just how projection-wise it'll work.
Right. Like, I think you'll be a little more articulate at the high pitches, but you might be louder at the low pitches.
And does that mean more feature sections for that group so that we can hear it more audibly?
I hope so. If they put all that work into putting
you would
adjustable bass drums, tunable bass drums on the field, I would hope that they feature that. I bet they will.
Okay, I want to see if you guys can get this next one from just the first line, okay? A legend told for centuries.
Oh,
Crown.
Yeah.
Mario Brothers.
So the description is: a legend told for centuries, the boy who would be king, compelled to embrace his destiny, King Arthur assembled a court of brave, fierce, and honorable followers who pledged their lives and loyalty to him, their shared vision to create a kingdom where justice, harmony, and the noble principles of chivalry prevail. And Camelot, the court and stronghold of King Arthur, and the Knights of the Round Table was the epicenter of their dreams and mythic quests. And yes, it is Crown.
I like it. I think it feels like a movie soundtrack.
It's intense.
Yeah, like I watch it and it almost feels really different from a lot of other drum corps in that way, because it's really like a cinematic show. But I'll just keep it a buck. I'll be really honest. I think that it's more musically interesting today, at least, than it is like visually got a lot going on. If I'm just going to be honest, as a Crown alum, so I love the show.
I would agree with that, Steven.
Yeah, and I like the direction they're going. It's getting back towards that 2016 like Relentless type of Crown vibe that I've been missing the last 5 years or so. But I think there's still a little bit of polishing to do on this one to really make it the best thing it can be.
For sure.
I think the costuming is a 10. Like I do. I think it's just super great. I think the use of the props are like great. I love the fact that when we get to that struggle that like how they change. I think that's super great. And I'm just going to say this is not a slap, but like to me, the Crown color guard's back. Like I think the Crown guard is like definitely a force to be reckoned with. Like it's cool to watch that. Now I will say this, I do think that with them and Boston, they're telling a story. So, or you're kind of alluding to that story. So I think both of them are so incomplete in the storytelling right now that it kind of holds them back, because we know what the story is, like both of those stories. And like when I watch, if I'm going to be negative right now, like with Crown, it would definitely be that, King Arthur kind of gets stabbed and then all of a sudden he comes back to life and we're all happy again.
Yeah. But honestly, I think every single year Crown changes their ending at Atlanta.
Yeah. No. Don't get me wrong. I know that staff is like super creative and I can't wait to see what they do, because I know they're all holding their own little aces and their rooks and whatever.
Yep.
They're not playing them yet.
They're keeping it close to their chest, and they're gonna. I bet that they always had the new ending to the show in plan already, And then this is just the fake ending that they're doing until we get like 2 weeks out. But I'm sorry to speak over you.
But no. Horn line, that ballad. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is a crown horn line for sure.
Oh my God. Just the sustain at the ultra, like,
It's
mezzo to piano to like how it's sensitive it is. It's like, wow. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, wow. But the costume for me is a 10.
It's really good. And then also, for the percussion guys on the call, I really like the different direction in the percussion. I think that
Oh
they
yeah,
kept it more to the identity of Crown than I actually expected it to be. Like it still has a lot of that classical composition type of
it's definitely a
vibe to
meteor
it.
book. I think more
Yeah, but
aggressive.
it's more aggressive, but there's also more just like little nuanced, intricate little things that happen where like it just feels more modern to me
Yeah.
as like a drumline product, but also as a whole percussion product. I think like there's a lot of potential here.
Oh
I
yeah.
think that like I think it'll be at least as good of a placement in drumline. It might take them a year or two to get up to like the Sanford contention or something that like Boston is at today or Bluecoats are at, where really they've been building that up for years to reach the point where they're at today. But I think that now I can see like there's a really high ceiling here for what Crown drums, what Carolina Crown's percussion section can be moving forward.
Yeah, they keep the staff together, and they should be able to produce something pretty hot in the next year or two. I think.
I think they will too. I'm all on board for it. But for right now, I'm all on board for a hot dog. I'm hungry. I'm going to the stands to get some food and some merch. But we'll be back
Funnel
in a
cake.
couple minutes here. Gonna take a quick commercial break and we will be back with you shortly.
Hello, everyone. It's Tim Hinton, the Beast of the Marching Arts, and the host of the Marching Roundtable podcast. It's a great summer, and we're in the middle of a series of podcasts about the 2023 DCI season. These podcasts are being released in audio and video versions, which you can find at our website. Already available are podcasts about the Cavaliers, who are celebrating 75 years with Where You'll Find Me, and the Madison Scouts, who share great advice about building a better culture in your organization. Out this week is our conversation with Carolina Crown, where I talk with 4 members of the design staff. Now listen to this. Rick Subel, the artistic director, Jeff Sacktig, the visual designer, Michael Klesch, brass arranger and music director, and Kevin Shaw, percussion arranger and sound designer. They were so nice to stop in the middle of spring training when we recorded that and talk to me about the show. We take you behind the scenes. You hear about how the show was constructed and then about how the members are bringing the show ideas to life this summer. This show is epic, as any show about Camelot would have to be. And then next week, I talk with music coordinator Mark Whitlock of the Cadets. We talk about their show, Atlas Rising, and the strength and grit required by the Corps. I think you will be fascinated about how Mark describes the show, saying it's analogous to the past, present, and future of the Corps. The grit and strength required of Atlas Rising in relation to the past, present, and future of the Cadets. This is pretty gritty stuff. Watch for other podcasts all summer from other DCI Corps, where we take you behind the scenes and up close, including a conversation I recently had with Phantom Regiment visual designer Stephen Estudillo about their show Exogenesis, which everybody is already talking about. It's a great summer of drum corps. And don't forget that you really need to see drum corps live. Go buy a ticket, sit in a stadium, make an effort to get there because the live experience is really special. You can feel the energy and passion of the performers coming off the field. It's an experience unlike anything else. Go see Drum Corps live. Happy DCI, everybody. Hope you enjoy our interviews all summer at the Marching Roundtable.
Hey everybody, It's Trish with the DCA dish. I went up to the DCA show in Shelton, Connecticut this past Saturday. There was some pretty cool stuff happening. After a bunch of great alumni performances, the Hawthorne Caballeros were the first competing corps to take the field. Their 2023 Take Me production features some really cool props, including benches. And I have to say, I love the corps proper sleek black look this year. The Bushwhackers were up next to debut their Hollywood production. Lots of cool voiceovers from people including Lady Gaga, and it was great to hear Car Chase once again. For those of us who marched Bush the last time they performed that song, it was a big deal. The home team, Connecticut Hurricanes, closed out the show with their Channel Green show. There were some more cool props, including umbrellas, and I can't wait to see what else they do with that ramp in the front. Although it may be smart to only perform portions of their shows so early in the season, it's going to be interesting to see what approach the corps take next year when the season ends DCI week. Stay tuned for more DCA news as the season really gets underway in the next few weeks.
I hope you guys all supported your favorite corps and bought all of the show merch and t-shirts and stuff on that break, because that's how we keep them rolling.
Always hit that clearance bin.
Yes, at least hit the clearance bin at the very, very least. I always got to get myself a patch or two personally. I'm kind of addicted. I don't know if you guys have ever seen my show jackets, but they're wild. There's a lot of patches.
I have, man. I used to collect stickers from every corps every year.
Oh, there you go. That would be so much cheaper than collecting patches.
Yeah, but I don't have those anymore. I was a kid. I stuck them on everything.
Oh man. Well, let's jump back in. I'm gonna give you guys the next description here, without saying the name. This show will take us on a journey to explore the physical and emotional edge, a phenomenon that exists between individuals and groups, places and things. We travel to the edge, challenge the edge, and push beyond the edge on the winding road that leads to your door. Any idea who this is?
Is this Cavaliers?
It is not.
No.
It is not Cavaliers, sorry.
Kind of sounds like Crossman.
It is Crossman.
Oh.
Whoop whoop. Was that Jeremy?
Yeah, that was me.
No one's seen them yet, right?
Yeah, I think tomorrow's their first show. They've done a really good job, like Blue Knights, keeping everything under wraps, and it's going to be really exciting to see what they do this season. I'm assuming, like, I don't know a whole ton personally, like connection with them, but after watching last season, I've got a feeling that they really went back, looked, and said, okay, what did we do wrong that knocked us out of finals, and what can we do to try to remedy that? And I'm excited to see how they're going to go about that and what they're going to do this season.
Well, their show title is Meetings at the Edge. I'm really excited to hear this music because looking at their repertoire, they've got the Beatles in here. They've got a Philip Glass piece in here, which I did my Olympic audition to a Philip Glass piece. So it's like, a connection there. Pat Metheny, Keith Jarrett, Sean Martin. So they've just got a really interesting range of music that they're utilizing for this sort of exploration. So I'm excited. So they haven't come out yet. Okay, I'll read the next one. Humanity has mixed feelings about the future of AI and its role in our world. Will AI have the ability to truly be creative in the future? It is Genesis. Yes. Was that Tom?
Yeah, my friend Keith Boulon was talking about this the other day. That's all. The only reason I remember.
So their show is called Symbiosis, but it's like spelled symbio.sis. So,
well, there you go.
I was gonna say, have you seen it yet? Has anybody seen this one yet?
No, I mean, it's funny because Whitney and I both live in Texas, and Crossman were in Oklahoma, and Genesis, they're from Austin, which is where we live, where I'm from, but no, I don't know anything about it.
They had kind of a neat show last year, right? Kind of a Wizard of Oz kind of thing, I think.
Yeah, that was them.
It sounds really cool.
I think they're still waiting on that breakout show, maybe.
Yeah, I haven't really heard anything about either of them.
How about this one? A rose blooms with beauty and grace. Its thorns,
Music
a reminder
City.
of life's embrace. Yeah, for in death its beauty is gone, but its thorns remain a legacy strong. Violent Delights, A Rose and Its Thorns by Music City. Interesting.
I watched it last night. I thought it was great. I was like, yeah, I thought it was really, really strong. In fact, I thought the score was low. Like I thought it was close. I really thought they were closer. Not like they're like competitive with the Troopers, but they should have been. I was really, really like, wow, get it, Music City. This is definitely a world-class drum corps. Definitely, like super.
Strong start for them. Good strong start.
Okay, so this next one does not have, they also have not come out with a description, which kind of blows my mind because it's one of the most talked about shows, one of the most complained about shows on the Facebook groups I've seen all so far this summer. Their repertoire is Everfish, Michael Tork, Orville Peck, Symbion Project featuring Melissa R. Kaplan and Jim Wunderlich. Anybody know? What's that?
Bluecoats.
No, not Bluecoats.
No? Oh.
You're going to know as soon as I tell you the show name. It's In Absentia.
Blue Nights.
Blue
Stars.
Blue Stars. Yes. And I tell you that the complaints from all of the people on the Facebook forums are like, they're like, why are they doing a show about alcohol? And I'm like, how many shows have there been about murder? and other unseemly acts? Why is alcohol the thing that gets attacked?
I think their costuming works great with the show. I'm not sold on the props.
Here's my inside scoop on the props. So,
give it to us.
So if I spill this, I'm sorry, guys. So originally the spoons were 10 feet tall, which would give them more like the correct perspective because they kind of look a little like runtish, but they were like 4 feet higher. But what I was told is that when people first went down them, because they had to be like the elevation of them, basically you came flying off of it. It was like they couldn't control it, so they're like woo, So I know they shortened it, whatever. That was the one thing that I found out about it. Yeah, I thought I've seen it. I think it's great. I like the costuming. Whatever. Absinthe. I mean, whatever.
You know what? The show theme itself is great, and it works. I'm not sold on the prop. Like you said, maybe if it was bigger, it would have worked more for me. I don't know. I'm interested to see how this develops over the summer.
Did they have the spoons and the white boxes?
Yeah, they have the sugar cube.
Yeah,
sugar cube. Yeah.
Okay.
Which I mean,
has anybody ever had absinthe?
I feel like that's a cultural thing. Haven't had absinthe or don't know how that works or haven't read anything about it. Like you're not necessarily going to understand that just from watching the show, especially if there's no show description out there. I'm looking at you, Jack, on the Blue Star social media team.
If we had a good show description, including how to consume absinthe.
I know Dave Landers and myself know how to do it. It was a Renegade's tradition at championships to partake in it, and it does make you hallucinate. And
all right.
But the night that I did it, I also had so much other stuff in my system. I don't even know what the absence would do. which begs the question: who's going to be the first to have like a giant bong prop? For their once it's removed from.
You know what?
Wait! I have the answer to this question. It's clearly the Bluecoats.
I was going to say Bluecoats. So
when you're explaining this to the kids so that they can understand and really deliver the show, how is this being done to the performers? You know what I mean? Like,
it is interesting.
Experiential?
Yeah.
Like.
Did they have to sign off everybody at the April camp? We're all going to try absinthe.
We're going to have a lock-in.
We're all 21. This is you all better be rooking out
Yeah,
this year.
everybody at Blue Stars is rookouts this year.
And I just hope that nobody from DCI is listening to this, because
Are affiliated with Blue Star.
because like let's not create any more havoc for the Blue
Oh,
Stars.
Bobby, what's your show about this year? Mom and Dad.
Hey, I think regardless, I think even if you didn't know what the show was all about at all, if you thought it was a nonsense word that they made up, the show is still really cool. I like the
in my
hi-hat
opinion,
feature.
it would work awesome still without the spoons. I think they would still have a great show. Just throw that out there, Blue Stars.
Yeah, I think it'll be a fun one to watch. I think that this might be a really good year for them.
I bet you inside the white sugar cubes, we're gonna get some sort of light thing. I think they're gonna light that.
Yeah, I can see
I
that.
thought, you know what, Duff? I was thinking the same thing. Like that would be cool if those lit up.
I just want it to be sparkly so it looks like sugar.
More glitter, more glitter, more glitter.
Yeah, and I would be remiss if we didn't throw it out there. Wow, like the color guard, like they just do some crazy stuff. Like they just do. Like there's times why I watch them and I go like this. Those kids, like they need those helmets. Like that's why like their Tour de France show is so great, because it's like they could do all that crazy Michael Shapiro stuff and like whoop, they hit themselves in the head and it's like it doesn't hurt, but like they just do some crazy stuff. They really do. It's like I watch it and just go like this. Wow.
Yeah, that one girl tosses her saber, slides down the spoon, and I know that like we're working on the catch still, but I would never.
Yeah,
I would never try that. There's no way.
Yeah.
You want me to do what?
Well, like, doesn't she spin like during, like, she spins on the spoon, like while it's like crazy. It's just literally like, I would love to be there when some kid, well, I have been like when I, in the Magic years, when working with Michael Shapiro, but where like he says do something, the kids just look at him like, what?
Oh
like,
yeah,
it's just
no,
funny.
that's you have to like have that stare down and be like, okay, you like seriously, like you really want this to happen?
I enjoy my teeth. I enjoy my teeth. So yeah,
I just hope those spoons don't get like 300 degrees in the sun.
Oh, they do.
The butt burn going down it. Live up the slugs, the spoons.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and read you the next one because this one's a little bit more age appropriate, I feel like, for our performers. Until our next eclipse.
Academy.
Yes. And I'm glad you got it from that because that's all of the description I have. The show title is Sol et Luna.
Costumes are gorgeous for the core and the guard. Yeah, they look really nice.
Yeah, I don't know anything else about it. I just know that it's about sun and moon, whatever. So I knew that. I was waiting for that one. But yeah, the costumes are, again, gorgeous. They are really, really pretty.
It's got some work still.
Oh, cool.
It's got the opportunity of being a great production.
Cool.
Okay, how about this one? William Blake's poem, The Garden of Love.
Bluecoats.
I kind of thought that I thought about skipping that first line, but grounds the teaser trailer, adding a strong backbone underneath the imagery fans will see in this year's show, including bright colors, a flower motif, and stained glass windows that are mentioned in the poem. Yes, it is the Bluecoats. What do you guys think?
Freaking wow. What a show.
Yeah, super trippy.
I wish I got to see this one live.
I think you will. Will you get the chance to?
No, they don't come out here.
They don't come to California. Okay. That makes
They
sense.
do every few years, but yeah.
This is on like it's layers and layers and layers of design and sound. Wow, man.
Yes.
It's got that chance of winning another drum trophy, in my opinion.
I totally agree because they're just really clean right away. And that's where I think like it's different. Like with other drum lines, you're going to be working all summer to make your product as masterful as it can be. And like that's great and all, but what if you were just clean right away?
Poof.
But you still worked all summer. That's like what they're doing right now. And they're playing a really cool book. the pit is super involved in
Yeah,
really
that's where
intricate.
it's at for them.
Yes, really intricate and really unique and like fresh ways too.
Okay.
And go ahead.
Well, I mean, love them last year. I just adore them this year. They're probably
Yeah.
my favorite show that I've seen. I think the staff is like I just am like I'm in awe of their ability to create such a different environment. Costume, like the horn line's
Mm-hmm.
great. The color guard, I think the color guard is super stronger than they were last year early, and they were great. And I think they're even stronger, which is going to make a battle for that guard trophy at the end. I think that's going to be a really big fight this year.
Yeah.
But here's my thing about the Bluecoats. So I like last year. I think I hope there's a change coming because here's my only thing is like being such a fan of that poem for so long. That's a really dark poem. So and they do a little bit of it. And so I wonder if they're just choosing to not be dark at the end because the poem itself is really, really a commentary. It's really dark. And I, listening
They've
to
done a great job of making it colorful and lighter, I think.
Yeah, but I just wonder if there's a change coming. Like last year, we didn't see that costume change to the end.
Right.
And
The headless people are so rad.
Right. Well, yeah. The one with the black hats.
Yeah.
Are those color guard members?
Yeah,
they are, and that's the priests that they talk about in the poem. I guess that's what I would think.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
It's just such great imagery that and here I'm sorry. I love everybody. I think everybody's great. I just don't think I don't think anybody else is doing that visually like the Bluecoats are doing. So that's the nod that I give them. Now again, Crown and Bluecoat and Boston, they've got stuff they're going to add. Blue Devils, they always add stuff, and everybody does that. But yeah, I just think right now the Bluecoats are giving us some of the.
Yeah, for real.
Really,
I think they're on a different design level than everybody else, man.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool to watch. I just wonder about the darkness of the poem, like if we're gonna see that more, or
if they're gonna touch on any of that.
Well,
I hope we do.
We get the black butterflies, which I think is like that's kind of creepy. You know what I'm saying? But then again, much like if I'm going to throw shame at Crown for being like, oh, and Arthur, but now he's back and we're happy. You know what I'm saying? And and not really having a whale. Like again, Bluecoats are kind of like, oh, darkness, but now we're happy in flowers and the Brady Bunch again. And it's like, okay, so. But love it. Like they're Bluecoats. So yeah.
I
don't know. I definitely felt like it got kind of creepy with the like hooded characters and stuff. I felt like that was different for the Bluecoats because they're normally so like happy and ethereal, whatever. But I definitely was getting some creepy vibes from it.
Yeah,
it is. I think it's really cool because it's like all these other groups are good and effective for their own reasons. Like Boston is super entertaining. Crown is just like super like classically refined. BD is like super entertaining in a different way. I think that this might be like the most artistic show that I see this year. Where it's really
I don't know, man. I think there might be
different.
some underdogs coming up. Cabbies and their 75th anniversary show.
True, it is an anniversary.
There's so many Easter eggs in that show, man. I don't know about the foam feather, but it's a rad concept so far.
Let me read that.
I've been itching for.
It's it's called Where You'll Find Me. The Cavaliers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Though they don't have a show description out, but there's a lot of rumors that they're going to be having Somewhere Over the Rainbow. They haven't even published their repertoire yet.
Well, yeah. I mean, spoiler. That's a lyric from that song.
Right.
That's Where You'll Find Me, and that the Somewhere Over the Rainbow is a huge Cavalier thing.
Right.
And yeah, so I not meaning to be emotional, but that's my home team and Cavaliers. It's great. The 75th, and there's so many iconic earworm things that you get during the show, and I think there's lots of really cool percussion things that they overlay in such a, I'm just going to say the word that it comes on in such a weird way, but weird meaning like cool, like not like, oh, like that's weird, but like weird isn't like, wow, that's, and I think they do that. I think again, like a lot of it, like the color guard is leaps and bounds stronger than they were last year. Good for them. Kind of a new team, like a lot of it, but I mean, I have to shout out, Splooey, Cavaliers. There you go. Like that's my thing, and I'm super proud to be an alumni. I am. Sorry.
Yeah, you mentioned their percussion. They just have a really, really solid percussion team. I was taught by a lot of that staff because it's the same staff from Rhythm X and indoor to Cavaliers in outdoor right now. And they're nails. Shout out to Josh Brickey, the snare and battery coordinator. They play so well. They play super hard stuff and they have their own identity too, which is really cool. I think that they do their own thing over here every year.
How about the next one? Express Yourself is the title of the show. Anybody seen this one yet?
I think you stumped us.
It's Jersey Surf. I don't even know it. They don't have their repertoire or a program description at all up here yet. So Jersey Surf, get on it, y'all.
Well, I mean, with Express Yourself, if we don't have Madonna, then like they lose. Because no, you have to have Madonna. Express Yourself. Come on now. I think it's cool.
Would be in there. Who knows?
How about this one? Goddess. They have
Pacific Crest.
Yes, it is Pacific Crest.
I'm only guessing on that one because of the gold costuming, but
okay. And has anybody seen them?
I haven't.
Tomorrow night, I think I get to see them.
How about this one? Up, Down, and All Around.
That would be Spirit.
That is Spirit.
Oh, there you go, Dave. Your alumni.
Is it true the Baby Blues back? I heard the Baby Blues back. That's what I heard.
Honestly, I don't know very much at all about the show. I was saying before we started, I haven't looked at much stuff yet this year. But that would be nice for the Baby Blue to return.
Yeah, for all you whippersnappers out there, that like Baby Blue was like the Spirit color. That was the thing.
I think the color is there in the costuming. I don't know about a Delta in there, but
oh, I'm sure there's a Delta somewhere in there.
Yeah, hidden in there somewhere. Yeah, just like Boston's always got Waldo somewhere in their costuming.
I'm just glad to see them back. I will say that for Spirit, like go Spirit. Like I'm just glad that the Spirit, Spirit of Atlanta is back. Like
good
that
for
is
them.
awesome. You know what I'm saying? Because they had to take that year off or whatever. And anytime a group takes the year off, it's just you're always scared. But it's like I hope they come roaring out of the South, and I hope they just let us have it. I do. I hope Spirit lets us just have it. Come on, Spirit.
I do too. I was involved with the Corps. I was on staff in '95 after the year off in '94, and that was a struggle. And that whole summer was a struggle. Just getting membership, and it's so awesome that they're able to continue, and other corps too in the activity that are able to push through an off year and then come back with strength.
So, is there any shows that you guys wanted to talk about that we haven't gotten to?
Suncoast '88.
Oh, no, I don't. There's no shows I don't think we haven't really covered, but I did see some crazy news that the Skyriders are working on putting together an organization again.
Oh,
seriously?
So that could be exciting. I hope.
Oh, that's way exciting! Oh my gosh, yeah.
I was a Skyriders fan. I know that. I mean, they were so cool with color and costuming before, way ahead of their time.
Yeah,
we toured side by side with them for all the first tour in '86. I think all but one show for like 2.5 weeks. Skyriders were at every single show with us. But they were struggling. Like we had, what's that?
87 Skyriders is the best West Side Story ever.
Oh.
Wrong. No, sorry. Wrong.
Oh, look out.
No,
Look out.
sorry. I had dear friends in that show, and I love 87 Skyriders. I do. I love it. I love it. But do not defame 1984 Garfield Cadets. Like, don't.
We have like a whole new episode of what was the best West Side Story.
84
There's
Cadets.
only be like 2 cores going back and forth.
Let's bring it back to 2023. So let's just go around everybody and give sort of your final thoughts on this season. Tom, let's start with you. What are your final thoughts on what's up this season and how things are going and gonna go?
You know, I've been part of Drum Corps since 1984. This is the most prepared drum corps I have ever seen. Probably the most highest quality I've ever seen. So out of the gate. It's so exciting. Go to a live show, buy a shirt, support these kids. It's awesome this year. And I'm jonesing on the cadets. They're awesome this year.
How about Duffy?
Same thing. You know, like been around drum corps for a really long time, and I'm such a fan of the shows, of all of them. I will be there in San Antonio, and I will watch every corps, and I will be like standing up for everyone. And I agree. Buy a shirt, buy 5 of them, whatever, and like just go and support these kids because they're giving it. And I'm super excited to see all the shows. I'm really super excited. And thanks for having me. I had a fun time.
Thanks for being here. Whitney, what about you?
Well, I didn't really get to interject when we were talking about Crown, but I, as a Guard alumni, I'm really excited to see them live, and everybody else. I will be at the Austin show, and then I will be at San Antonio as well. I'm just really excited to see everybody live because it is way better than watching on even a large screen TV. So I'm just excited for everybody, and I wish I could make it up to DCI for finals, but don't think that's going to happen. But so San Antonio will be my DCI.
Jeremy,
it's a good show.
Yeah, it seems like this season there's just been so much energy and so much excitement going into it. I know I've only followed the activity maybe a decade at this point, but it just the amount of energy, the amount of just across the board. And I know we haven't really talked about it at all, but with just looking at scores, I mean, they're sitting 5, 6, 7 points higher than where cores typically sit at this point in the season. Like BD broke 80, the first week?
Oh
It's been absolutely insane seeing these like I was looking back, and at this point BD is outscoring where they did in 2014. Like I don't know if that means anything, but there's a chance that we have a new world record scoring season this year, and it's just exciting to watch it all unfurl from the beginning.
Yeah, seeing them just like pushing the envelope right out of the gate, that's amazing. Landers, how about you?
Well, I, with the exception of seeing about 20 minutes of Vanguard Cadets rehearsal when they were about 15 minutes from my house last summer, I haven't seen a drum corps show live since Atlanta 2019. I am so excited tomorrow to stand in front of a horn line as they warm up and just hear, not just hear, but feel that sound coming from all around me, not just my headphones. Or my Bose speakers or whatever, but just to feel wrapped up in that warmth, and I'm just going to take a nap there.
Bask in the warmth.
Yeah.
Steven?
Well, I agree strongly with everyone. It's a great year for drum corps, but we all already talked about that, so I got my hot takes for you. I think that Boston is going to come away with the gold medal this year. I think that show is exciting, and it's going to pull through in the end. And I think the Bluecoats are going to win drums again. BD is going to come in second, as much as I love them. That's my prediction for the year. What do you think, Jackie?
I think that I need to go to bed. It's late, guys.
I agree.
All right, everybody. Thank you again for a great rehearsal this week. Thank you to our hosts, Stephen, Whitney, Tom, and Jeremy from At Drum Corps today. Dave Landers and David Duffy. Guys, thank you so much for coming and joining us today. It was really awesome to get to meet you guys and talk to you. Let's start with Landers. What are your socials if our listeners want to come follow you on social media?
Oh, my socials. I'm on Facebook sometimes, and I have an Instagram, but I don't really use it that much. Sorry,
You should
I'm
get on Threads. It's a new
older.
thing.
Threads, okay.
Threads. You use your Instagram account. It's great.
I heard about something called Truth. Is that a thing? No, just kidding. No.
David Duffy, what about you? What about your social?
Yeah, I'm Facebook, but I'm also on Instagram, and I think it's at Duffy Design. I think that's what it is, at Duffy Design. And yeah, thanks for having me. Super excited, and yeah, it's awesome.
This was such a good episode. Everybody go subscribe, write us a review, throw us 5 stars, and share this with a friend. Follow us on all of our social media at On a Water Break, and we will see you at the next rehearsal on a water break.
Go practice.